Okay, thank you everyone for coming today. Luvina, Anis, and I, and Tina as well, will do the mooncake workshop today. We will do the Indonesian mooncake, which is famous. The famous brand will be Sinhat one. So this one is a copy of that one. We love it so much as an Indonesian because we grew up with that, and here it's really hard to find that kue bulan. So we decide to find out a good recipe, and then we make it. So we can make it ourselves at home, and we enjoy it anytime we want. Anis will start with her flaky mooncake, but before that, I have my mooncake ready here. I will put it in my oven. This one inside is the chocolate. This is the kue bulan, which is chocolate filling inside. I'll show you how to make it later, but I will put this one in the oven first. So once I finish showing you how to make it, we can have this ready. Okay, Anis, you can start to show people for the flaky mooncake.
Hi everybody. Nice seeing everybody again. So this flaky mooncake is, I think I only started doing it this year. I've not tried it before. I think it's an in thing right now for this flaky mooncake. I like it because you don't really need a mold. Like, you know, it's impossible to get a mooncake mold before the mooncake festival because it takes time for the clothes to come, etc. So that's the reason why I like this one, and it's quite versatile as well. Like in terms of the filling, like your traditional mooncake, you can make red bean paste, mung bean paste, lotus paste, whatever that you like. So today, what I'm going to do, instead of the recipe from the cookie dough using the yam paste, so I've already pre-made the red bean paste and roll them into a bowl already, so ready to go. So what you can do is that I normally prefer to make the filling the day before, so that it's completely cool down when you want to wrap it, because it calls for butter in this one, so you do not want to melt your butter if it is not cold enough. Yep. So that's what I do. And instead of using the purple powder, the purple sweet potato powder, because I'm using red bean paste, I think it goes better with the green tea powder, the matcha powder. So I'm just going to make it into the green color. So I think it goes better with that. So you can play around, like some people make a rainbow. It's just playing with the different color in the flaky dough. Okay, let's get started. The ingredient is actually quite straightforward. I'm using the cookie dough recipe, but with a twist to it. There's a Malaysian consultant. She actually did this online, so I watched it. It's quite easy, and then she made a twist to it, so it makes the dough easier to manage. Okay, so I'm just going to turn your attention to this. I believe the email will be sent out to you with the instruction and the changes to the recipe itself. So this is from the cookie dough Chinese recipe. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to skip the part for the filling because I've already done that. So what I'll do, I'll just go straight into the step for the dough. Okay, so we'll start with the flaky dough first. So it calls for 85 grams of plain flour. But in this case, I'm going to use cake flour or low gluten flour to make the flaky dough. So you can actually get this from the Chinese shop, or you can just Coles or Woolies. It is the low gluten flour or cake flour, they call it. Okay, so instead of the 85 grams, I'm going to use 90 grams of it. So I've pre-weighed. I've also put a quarter teaspoon of salt in it. So I'm just going to put it in. And then next is actually the unsalted butter. So instead of 40 gram, the twist to it is to put it 75 gram. So it's more pliable instead of too crumbly. Just fold this in. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of the green tea powder. So, or you want to put any other coloring, you're fine to do that as well, like the purple sweet potato flour or the blue pea powder. So, you know, if you want to make it blue, then you just put 2 teaspoons of it. So I'm just going to put 2 teaspoons of my green tea powder.
This is the one I
Okay, next. So it's just going to mix for 15 seconds at speed 4.
And is this the recipe that you gave me? Is it the Melaleuca one?
Sorry, this part is changed.
Okay.
So the changes made to this recipe is instead of using the plain flour, you use the cake flour. Instead of 85, you use 90 gram. And then the butter, instead of, I think it was 40 or 30, we changed it to 75.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just going to let you see how it is. So when you first done it, it's very crumbly, even powdery. You'll find, oh, I did something wrong. It's actually not, because it hasn't come together yet. So in the traditional way, what you will do is like you are doing the scone, you will be rubbing the butter against the flour, so to make them all come together. But what I actually do, because I'm a bit lazy, so what I actually do is I'm just going to repeat that step again, so that it will form into a bowl for me. So just push all the flour down and do the back button. So repeat these steps. And for this pastry, the most important thing is resting the dough. So every step that you do, when the dough is formed, it's very important that you rest it well. So what you'll get now is something like that. So instead of your hand rubbing the butter together, so if you repeat that steps, you will get this. So it's easier for you to split the dough. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to tilt it out. And the other thing is that if you have dough stuck underneath your blade, right? What I'm sure, like, you know, some of you might have tried this before. So you just go out to use the turbo to blitz it, so to, you know, to get all the dough out from your blade. So I'll do it 2 seconds. Instead of putting your finger in, trying to get all the bits and pieces out from the blade. So what you'll get is, you know, it will just move everything to the side so you can scrape it out.
So is this a recipe for the full, is it for a full portion for the recipe?
Yes, it is a full portion. So
you reckon you can double it?
Yeah, you can double it. Yeah. So it's best not to halve it because it's already very little. You make 8 pieces of it. If you follow the full measurement, meaning like you use 70 gram of the dough, and then 30 gram of the filling. So, you know, it's actually quite big. So what I'm going to do today is, instead of making 8 pieces, I'm going to do it in 10 pieces instead. So it's more like a bite-sized kind of, you know, it's cute, petite, not too big. So now you are done. So the next step is to make the oil dough. Because we added the green tea powder, so it's advisable for you to wash the bowl if you don't have a second bowl. So what you can do is that instead of using the pre-clean function, just add the water up to the top of your blade, and then use 20 seconds, speed 10. So the first 10 seconds is the forward, then you do a reverse, and then tilt the water out, wipe it clean, that will do. So it's a quick clean. Instead of using the pre-clean function, you have to wait a few minutes. So because I have a second bowl, I'm just going to continue. Go back to my recipe. Next. Okay, so then subsequently, I'm just going to follow exactly per the recipe. I'm not changing it. Okay, so it asks for 85 gram of plain flour. Also 20 gram of the icing sugar. So I'm just going to put everything in. 30 gram of softened butter. And then let's cover it. 15 seconds to mix all up.
So I think you can see that with the Thermomix, you can use it like a processing blender. You can make it work for you, like what Anis was doing, to have less work, you know, instead of having to manage it. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So all the ingredients is mixed now. So the next step is to add water. So it's 30 gram. Just quickly show you how it is inside. So it's flour, like, you know. So I'm just going to add 30 gram of water. I've already pre-weighed this, so. Nice. Okay. So then the next step is to knead it using kneading function for 2 minutes. So while this is kneading, going through the kneading, so I'm coming back to my flaky dough, so that you have a bowl like that. So what you do is, instead of splitting it into 4 portions, so I'm just going to split it into 5. So what I like to do is usually measure it. So I make sure all of them are the same. So in this case, I'll just split them into 5.
Anis, would you use cold water or tap water?
I use tap water.
Okay. I love the color that is coming out.
Sorry?
I love the color of the green.
Oh yeah, it's the matcha. It's the matcha color. It's very nice. If you have blue tea powder, you can use that too. So what you do is you just roll them up like that and get them ready. So very importantly, you have to cling wrap them once you are, you know, you have rolled them into a bowl. And also, you know, make sure when you roll them up, you follow the sequence. Like this is the first one that you did, so you just line them up properly. because it needs to rest, so you always take the earliest one that you make to start first. Okay, so this is great. Oh, wait. So the oil dough is now ready. So you can have a look. It's like that. So I'm going to take it out. So again, if you have dough stuck inside, you can do the blitz again to get all the dough stuck underneath your blade out. Okay, you can see that it is very pliable. So do the same, split them into 5 pieces. Sorry, I'm just going to wipe the mat because it has the green bits on it.
Anis?
Yep.
If there is a color, say if you want to make a blue pea flour and the green one, would you color the oil dough or the water dough?
The flaky dough, which is this one, the one that you are going to wrap inside, which is for your curry puff, is called oil dough.
Oil dough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you color the oil dough. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for
So what you do is you split that into like the portion of the color that you want,
Mhm.
and then you color them individually.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly cut this up.
And are you using so it's roughly how many grams right now that you're making of the water dough?
The water dough, I split it into 32 grams.
32 grams. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because of the increase in the flaky dough in terms of the measurement. So what happened is that you actually get more. So so it comes out to be about the same as your water dough, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that because you added in that 75 grams of oil of butter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the additional 5 grams of the flour.
Okay.
Okay, so again, same thing, roll them into a bowl. So this was, sorry. Yeah, correct sequence. Okay, so now you will need to rest them for 15 minutes. So it's important you don't skip these steps. It needs to be rested. Okay. Right. So because of time constraint, so what I did earlier was I've already pre-made a batch. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I wrap the two dough. Okay, this is your flaky dough. Put this aside because this is going to be the filling. Okay, so you flatten your oil dough first. Just roll it a little bit, not too much. Okay, and then you wrap this like that. So you slowly push it to wrap the entire thing in. Because the dough is very pliable, so you just need to just push it gently, then it will come up nicely. So make sure that you close it properly. And roll them. Okay, remember your seam, the ugly side. So later when we roll, I'll show you how to hide them. Okay, so this is one done. So put it aside, and I'm going to do another one. Same thing. Push it down. Okay, so this is the second one. Again, you rest it for about 10 minutes. So just put it aside, put the cling wrap over. So one dough like that actually make two pieces. So I'm just going to show you what does it mean. Okay. I'm not going to rest this one. Normally you have to rest it for 10 minutes, but yeah, I forgot. I actually rolled that up already just then. So what you do is that you take one piece, the seam side, the ugly side facing up, you press it down, and then you roll from the middle up and then down. Okay, so the thinner that you roll it, the more layers that you will get. So it's nicer spiral look that you will get. So you can roll as thin as you like. So this is how it will look like. Okay, there are two methods to roll them up. One is from either top to bottom, or you do diagonal. I prefer the top and bottom because I find that the lines are clearer. So you just roll it up like that. So if you have done curry puff or the kaya puff, the kaya kop is similar method actually. So you're done with one, okay? I'm just going to do another one. Again, the ugly side up. Sorry, I got too close to the edge. Oops. Okay, so this is the second one. So you put it aside. Again, the same rule. The earliest one you do, you always tag that one out to make. So now you have this, right? So how do we wrap it? We are just going to cut this in two half, right, just in the middle. You'll see that the lines are there. So you always put the cut side facing down. Okay, cut side facing down, and what you do is you press it down. And then you check where is your your spiral. So it should be in the middle. So now mine is a bit off-centered. So what I'll do is I'll make sure when I roll it to the side to make it more coverage. You see? So I gradually push the dough across. So it's more to the side now, but I'm just going to do it a bit more. So you can see it's here, and then you can wrap your filling. Okay, you take this one piece and find the center. So if your spiral is here, so you put it underneath like a mushroom, okay? Then you just wrap it like that. So that you make sure the top has the most spiral. Then again, you push your dough to make sure the whole thing is covered. Okay. So that's my first one. So what you do is that instead of just leave it like that, I normally like to roll it from the two sides. So it's tall, not flat. Okay. So that's how it will look like for that one. So I'm just going to do another one. So again, you check that's quite all right. So I'm just going to start rolling. Again, find the center. Wrap. Okay. Then roll it taller, like that. So that's the second one done. Okay. If you want to do multiple color, so what you do is just imagine, you know, I have two colors of this. I have two color of this. The idea is that same thing, you flatten. That's if you want to do rainbow color. You wrap the different color pieces together like that and wrap them up. The method is exactly the same. Just roll them out, roll it like a cigar roll, and then cut in the middle, then start shaping it. So it's exactly the same. So if you want to do multiple color. Okay. So once you're done with this, then you just baked it. You just baked it for 25 minutes at 160 degree, but of course, depending on your oven. So sometimes you might need to add 5 minutes more, or, you know, reduce the time for it. Okay, so that's done. Any question?
Sharon asks, is the type of flour used matters? Low protein or mid protein flour?
Not really, but for the flaky dough, from what the other consultant mentioned, she said that for this kind of pastry, it's best for the flaky dough to use low protein flour or low gluten flour. But if you don't have that, it's fine. You can just use the plain flour. As long as it is not the baker's flour or high protein flour, that's fine.
I actually made one earlier with your recipe, and I just used the plain flour, the normal plain flour.
Yeah, it works too. It works too. You just don't need the gluten in it because it's flaky, you see. So yeah, So she said that the best result is if you use the cake flour or the low gluten flour. But if you don't have it, it's fine. You can just use the normal plain flour.
Okay.
Okay.
You for the rainbow, the main point here to use the one that colored is the flaky one.
Correct.
The oil dough, isn't it?
Yeah, the flaky dough, the one that you make the first time. Yeah. So you just color it into the different color that you want. Yeah, so then the wrapping is the same. So the flaky dough will always be wrapped by the oil dough. So the oil dough is outside.
Thank you, Anis.
Water dough, you mean, Anis?
Which one?
The water dough is the one that's wrapping the oil dough. Is that right? Is
Correct. If you are doing curry puff, yes, it is. But in this case, right, the recipe term it slightly differently. So they term the flaky dough as your oil dough equivalent.
Yeah.
They term the oil dough to as your water dough, but it's actually the same. You're using the water dough, so-called the second one that you made according to the recipe, to wrap the oil one. Yeah,
the one that you add water? Because the first one you didn't add water, right?
correct. The first one, no water. It's just butter and the flour and the coloring that you want.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Anis.
No worries. We'll hand it over to you.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, we start for making the Indonesian mooncake. As the favorite one there is the chocolate filling, chocolate and nut, and the other one is the cheese filling. And I will start to make with the cheese filling first. What we need here is the 90 grams of sugar, 95 grams of sugar. So I put the sugar in. I just use the raw sugar, normal sugar. Then cheese. Oops. So I need to melt the sugar. I'll put it for 10 seconds. Be fine. And we end up with lots of cloudy, like smoky. So in 10 seconds, the raw sugar turned into the powdered sugar here. You can see how powerful the mix is, and really quick as well. And with this one, means that you don't need to have so many different sugar. Don't need to have the caster sugar or the icing sugar. You can just have one. Then the next one is I add cheese. The cheese that just normal cheese. This is just the tasty cheese. Then 30 seconds for speed 5. So what happened here, we normally just buy a block cheese and then we cut it ourselves or grate it ourselves. So this one, we put the cube or, well, my husband's already sliced it, so I need to put it sliced there earlier. So in 30 seconds, you can see that it's really, really crumbly there. And Next step is to put the plain flour and butter. So I prepared it for earlier. Put everything in. Then 10 seconds for speed 5. It will mix all together first before we knead it. Let's have a look how it looks like. So it's all go together. Now the last step is to knead this mix, and it will come as a bowl. So put the function for the kneading of dough. 1 minute. And got it. Okay. So in 2 minutes, it will go together. While we're waiting for that one, Lubina can help me to show what is the Thermomix actually can do, the function. Lubina around me.
Okay, so Thermomix, as you can see, has so many functions built in one machine. So you don't need to take so many machines out on your kitchen bench to cook. It can do a lot of the things. So I think you saw today, just now, Lucy's using the kneading function, and then Anis is using the kind of like chopping, I guess, like blending them all together, crushing them all together. So yeah, so it's all there, as you can see. Egg boiler is amazing. I use that on a regular basis. Rice cooker almost every night, because who doesn't eat rice, right? So we eat rice a lot, so I use that a lot. Thickening is amazing when you're making custard, and what else you need to thicken? Gravy, I guess. And I think Deb made that risoles yesterday in the class. She used the thicken function as well to make the roux, isn't it, Deb? Yeah, and then there's kettle function, slow cook, sous vide. There's a sugar function as well. So if you guys like making your own lollies and sweets, you can do that. Milling, we see that with the sugar, raw sugar becoming icing sugar in a few seconds, which is great. Mincing as well, it's just doing so many things. Weighing, we don't need to get our scales out anymore now. The Thermomix has a weighing function built into it. Luz, do you have the next slide?
I'll go back to my my dough ready, so I'll go back to continue my cooking first. Where am I? Oh, sorry. Okay. After my camera disappear again. Sorry about that. Yes. So after kneading, it's not pretty there yet. I'll put another minute and we continue with our presentation there. I adapt this recipe from the normal one to using the Thermomix. I'll send out the recipe later on. So the next slide is how much is Thermomix?
How much is the Thermomix? Thermomix is $2,359 currently, and it includes everything that you see on the screen there. So the jug and the steaming the varoma, we call it. It steams a whole chicken, a whole fish on it. So you can you imagine doing some layer cooking in there? So you can get your dinner done within 30 minutes, the whole thing. Okay, so if you put this shimmering basket inside, you can cook your rice, and on top here you can do your chicken, and if you can still fit it, there's another layer here that you can put your veggie, or you can even put like veggie with the chicken, however you like it. And there's also a spatula that's included. So this spatula, if you see it sits on the bench, but it doesn't touch the bench, kind of thing. And that also stops your spatula from being grated as you're mixing something in there. And they also have a whisk here. So if you're doing a meringue like pavlova or whipped cream, you can use this one. And also the measuring cup here to just stop it from splashing everywhere, because we don't want to be cleaning our kitchen every time we cook, right? And there's also a splash guard here when you're using a high heat function. So everything you see here and more, obviously, because this screen here, it's connected to your Wi-Fi, so it has so many cookbooks included in the machine, in the Thermomix. So it comes with the basic physical cookbook, but inside it also has so many other cooking function. So Cookidoo is the recipe platform for Thermomix. It has 70,000 triple tested recipes, so the chance of it failing is quite low unless you really change up the recipe completely. So it reads on your Thermomix screen, so you can easily just as you saw Anis and Lucy, they were just clicking next. Okay, so it gives you like a guided recipe. So it's full of inspiration, so you can find so many recipes in there, and from a lot of other countries as well. And it's also integrated fully to your Woolies shopping list. Isn't that amazing? So you can save time. And now that we can't be browsing around in Woolies, so you can just put the whole thing in there. You done, Luz?
Yes, it's gonna be a big.
Look at Madam Lucy, a home cook turned to like professional cameraman.
Okay, my cheese filling's done. The top camera is a bit temperamental, so it looks like this. I'll put it on the side. This is ready later on to make a bowl. So one recipe can make 8 portions. So this one is just need to squeeze together and wait for the 80 gram, and this become the filling. So it's really easy to make a bowl like this. Wash it. Okay, I'll put this on the side. Then we continue with the skin dough. What do I need for the skin dough? We need the condensed milk. This condensed milk is actually so the condensed milk we use is, I made this condensed milk myself. It's actually only powdered milk, water, and sugar. That's it, isn't it, Luke?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's nothing much here. It's really, and tastes really good.
And
So-
it's done in 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yep, that's right.
3 minutes, you can make your own condensed milk. That's faster than me walking to my local shop.
Especially you gotta when you live far away from the shops. So I need the scale. Where's my scale? Scale. 125 gram of the condensed milk. I believe this is always 125. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Looks like I should. Show a bit. Get the other one.
So you can see that scale coming up there that Lucy chose the function for scale, and it's in 1 gram increments. So it's really accurate. For those just coming in, Lucy is showing us how to make kue bulan, the Indonesian mooncake.
The next one is 1 egg and then vanilla extract. I'll do the vanilla extract first. How much vanilla do I need? Half teaspoon. And after this, we will mix it for 5 seconds and speed. So I need the half teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1 egg. Speed 4. In 4 seconds, it's mixing all the ingredients together. Then the next one is we'll put all the flours, milk powder, and baking powder. I prepared this earlier, so I got my flour and my milk powder and baking powder. Put them all in. A bit. Ask for 20 seconds. Speed 6. So you will mix everything. In 20 seconds. Okay, it's done. It's a four portion as well. Then 1 portion is about like 80 grams. You can see here, but that the dough is very sticky. So this is, you need to rest it. So you take it out and rest it about ½ hour before you use it. See how it's really sticky in here. So I will rest it this one. Then we do the chocolate filling. The chocolate filling, it uses chocolate and nuts. If you don't like nuts or you got allergy with nuts, you can not use it, or you can choose whatever. Or the people that like nuts, they sometimes have their own favorite. They don't like, let's say, we like almond, so I use almond. Or you like cashew, you can use the cashew as well. Or peanut, or any nuts that you like for the baked nuts. So the first thing gotta do is chopping the nuts. So I already roast the nuts here. I'm using almond. So I put the almond in, roasted almond. Then I will chop the almond. 5 seconds. Speed 5. You can see in 5 seconds that big almond in chop. We don't need to chop it really fine because we want the texture later on. So I'll put this back in the bowl. So it's big, still quite rough. Okay. Where's it? There. So it's still quite rough. And the next that we do is we melt the chocolate because we're making a chocolate filling. So unsalted butter, I already pre-weighed it. The butter cube. And the next one is dark chocolate and sugar, water, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. One teaspoon. I'm doing the half, so it's 1 teaspoon there. Then I need to cook it for 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 100 degrees for speed 2. So what happened is we melt everything together. So 1.5 minutes. Then 100 degrees. Reverse. Speed 2. Okay. While we're waiting, we can start, continue with our slide. Where do we up to? Payment option. So earlier, Lubina talking about the cookie dough. Now we have the payment option. It will help everyone for the finance. Keep going, Lu.
Okay. So, just going on what Lucy is cooking now. So, if you are a cake decorator, you can actually do your ganache straight in there. Chop up your chocolate and then, melt it together and stuff like that. So, really easy. Okay, so payment option. There are a few ways to get your Thermomix on your bench. So the first one is a single payment, 2,359. And, if you're talking to your husband, you can say, this can be my anniversary present, birthday present, Christmas present, Easter present, whatever present that you can think of, it'll save your husband a lot of headache, I tell you, because you can just say, you've already given me a present. You don't need to think of anything else for the rest of the year or two, which is I think I got my Thermomix as a birthday present last year. Okay, and the second one is easy 3, so you can pay it 3 times. The first one is 1,009. The second month is 700 and the third month is 700. So this is off your credit card. I think there is a $50 fee, but that's already included in that payment. So the third one is earn. So this is what Lucy did. I did it as well before. So we earned it. So we became a consultant and we earned our Thermomix. So the first initial payment is 840. That's coming out of your pocket. But then if you sold 6 within 60 days, within 60 days, you get the whole thing back minus your business kit, which is really useful anyway. And the fourth one is Zip Money. So this is the 24-month interest free. So there is a fee, but it's already included in this monthly rate or fortnightly rate, weekly rate, and a daily rate. So it's only equivalent to $3.50 something. I can't quite see that, but $4, just say $4 a day, and you can earn your Thermomix in 2 years. Yes, so $24.56 per week, $25 a week. Yeah, so cheaper than going to the shop, right? Okay, so do you have a next slide?
I continue.
Before that, there's a question. Can you substitute milk powder with fresh milk? I wouldn't think so because the texture will be different, isn't it?
Yes, because milk powder, the liquid will make it runnier, while this one is designed to, the milk powder itself is to make it richer. So next one, you can see that in 1 minute, all the chocolates already melted there. The next one is to put the flour and chocolate powder. So I'll put it in. I will mix it for 30 seconds, speed 3. While we're waiting, we continue with the slide, which is the September promo. So for September promo, which is end up to 1st of October, with additional $49, you can get a Meter Plus and barbecue cookbook and also the skewers. The Meter Plus here is very useful when you cook steak or cook meat, and you just put it in the meat, and then when it's then you set up for, let's say you want a medium rare, then it's connected with your phone or your computer, and it will tell you when it's ready. So you check for the medium rare, you get a medium rare steak. And then for now we already starting for the October promo. So the October promo, the gift with purchase is the kitchen tools. So we have all the scissors and knife, then the peeler and ice cream scoop. And the quality of this kitchen tools is very good. It's really sharp. You can cut bone, I believe, with the scissors there. Then we also get the cookbook meals in a flash. This October giveaway purchase already start now and up to 1st of November. Okay, let me continue my. I believe it's still on. It's not still. Okay, so I got a next one is I scrape these things down so it will mix together. What do I have to? And I'll put back the nuts. In there. Okay. Then 10 seconds for reverse speed 3. All done here. This is our chocolate filling. I'll move this here. Everyone can see. Put it there. Right. Okay. This is the. Let me change my camera with the. This is the chocolate filling. So what I do is just put it on the plastic, wrap it together, take it out. So you see it looks like this. So we'll have some chunky nuts in there. This is for 4 portions as well. Just wrap it, put it on the side to press because it's quite warm, this one. I already pre-made earlier. This is the dough. We divide it to 4, so it's about 80 gram each, and the filling is also about 80 gram. So how to assemble it together? This is really simple, not like Annie's one, which is the flaky mooncake. So this one, you only need to flatten it. Just flatten it a bit. You don't need to be too big. It's quite sticky. What we use is some flour underneath here, so it will not stick to the mat. In the other side here, let it sticky because we want our filling. This one is the chocolate one. Got nuts in there. Try to put the nuts hiding inside. So let's flatten it a bit. We put there, then we flip it upside down. Then, like Annie's do, we just try to which way? Yeah, that way. Try to put this, close this together. Really simple. That's it. Now we try to flatten it because the Indo mooncake is flat, not round. It's flat. So put a bit of flour there. Make sure that it's not stick to you. Then be flattened. Just use your hand. No need to. You can also use your rolling pin, but doesn't really need to. Use your hand to flatten it slowly. if you see there is like a black spot there because of the filling, that's fine. Later on, after it's baked, it will slightly disappear. The color transparent. Now, we normally see how they have like a paint, a stamp on it. I don't have that kind of stamp. I just use whatever we have it at home. So you can just bake it like this, or if you want to make a paint it, you can as well. This is one of my cookie cutter. So just paint it a bit, then stamp it here. Okay, I think that's good enough. Then we bake it for 160 degrees for about 20-25 minutes, depends on your oven. Earlier of the workshop, I show you the one that I ready to bake, and it's baked, ready to bake. It's done now, so it looks like this. And I'll put this away, ready to go to the oven. This one. Oh, I can also do the cheese filling. Let me show you one more for the cheese filling. I prepared earlier for the skin. The skin tastes different with whatever mooncake that the Hong Kong mooncake. So this one is harder and more bready. It's more like bread taste. If you we like it because this is how we grew up with. So every mooncake festival we will have this for us. I need to weigh. I haven't weighed my. So this is my cheese one. It said it need 80 grams. So I'll weigh it here first. So one portion is need 80 grams. Right here. Put it all together. Get like a bowl. And the skin dough is very pliable, so you actually doesn't really need to use the rolling pin to do it. So put it like that, turn it upside down to make it easier to maneuver. Then just push it up to cover it. I found this cheese actually tastes really good. It's slightly sweet and salty. And for the filling, you also can use for make the flaky mooncake and use this filling as well. That's how it looks like. Open it. Done. Paint it. Over this one. So two 2 hearts for the cheese one, 1 heart for the chocolate one. Off you
So
go.
how do you know that they're cooked, Luz? Is it just because it's browning kind of thing?
If you check this, can you see the different color? How do you
Yeah, it's brown and a bit.
brown up?
Yeah.
And also it's growing.
Yeah.
See the size is like quite different.
Yeah.
So let me put this away, ready to bake. Now, I get it ready here, the one that we can cut and have a look what's inside, how it look like inside.
Who's within 5 kilometers of Lucy? She has so many mooncake in her house.
Okay. This is a new one. This is the old one that I made earlier. Yep. Let's cut the one that just done. There.
Ooh, nice.
Put it this way. And I'll get the chocolate one, the cheese one. This is the cheese one. You see how it's like a bubble here, because when I wrap it, I did not. There's an air bubble trap because I'm not professional, so there's an air bubble trap, so it's stuck there.
Oh.
So try to let all the air come out when you wrap it. There's the cheese, and also there's the chocolate there. If you have your one ready,
Yep. Okay. All right. So these are the green tea one that we just made just then. So this is how it will look like. And then this was the one that I made last night. I would just want to experiment the different color. But it didn't come across quite clearly because I put I didn't put enough of the coloring. So this is how it looks like. So I'm just going to cut.
The one. No.
So this one is with the lotus paste. And the one that we just did was with the, it's very crumbly, flaky. So this is with the red bean paste there.
Yum.
Yep.
Very nice.
Okay, so
So
this
did
is
you put that in the oven for how long?
25 minutes.
160 degree.
Yes. So once is out from the oven, make sure that you put it on top of the cooling rack. Yeah, because it's very flaky. So if you don't want the water condensation inside, right, you make sure that you put it on this. And because it's fresh, so I reckon you should finish it within 5 days, not longer than that, because we don't put preservative.
Yeah.
And the portion that it does, it gives you about 8 pieces. We follow the 40 gram, etc. But I did it smaller. So I got 10 pieces for one batch. So, you can consume it within a day or two. Yeah. Yes, 5 days at room temperature. Put it in a airtight box. Yeah. But also, okay, sorry. Depending on the weather, because now it's still quite cool. If the weather gets hot, you might want to consider put it in the fridge, because depending on what filling that you put inside. Normally for lotus paste, it's okay. yeah, so like your traditional mooncake, you put it outside with the lotus paste is still all right. But if you use yam paste or sweet potato paste, I think that you might want to put it in the fridge. Then what you do is you can take it out from the fridge and put it into air fryer for 1 or 2 minutes. Then it will revive the flakiness. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Any
you,
other
Anis.
question? No worries.
I cannot talk. I'm eating.
Yeah. So I have many of these right now. I have yeah.
So who's within 5 kilo of Annie's now?
I'm at North Sydney, so anybody within this radius, you can come to me.
So during this mooncake season, I try many different mooncake. So this one is my flaky mooncake with Anis teach me how to do it, and I'm using the chocolate filling inside, the chocolate and nuts inside the almond, and this one is the with the cheese. The Indonesian style is actually a bit flatter. So if you look, this one is flat. So I'm trying to improvise similar with the flaky mooncake, but it's flat.
Yeah.
And this one is the traditional one, which is with red bean inside.
Yeah.
Then I also got the last one is the mixed nut. This is my husband's favorite with the mixed nuts there.
They all look so good.
Yes.
Oh yeah, just a little tips on the filling. Yeah, because I did one batch of the lotus paste. For some reason, I think I overcooked it. It become very dry and crumbly, so I can't roll it into a bowl. So I'm like, oh no, I don't want to throw away. So because it's an effort and cost and etc. So if you want to revive a dry filling, so what you do is that you pour a bit of hot water, so not more than 15 or 20 grams of water, and you stir fry it again. No, and you put it in a wok and then just stir it again. It will still come back together. So then you can just store it. So that's how I revive my lotus paste.
Cool. Thank you, ladies. We
Thank you.
have learned a lot. Any other question, you guys can just come off mute and ask. Otherwise, we will finish here. Thank you for coming. The recording and the recipe will be sent in your email.